is up, guys, and welcome back to Trading with LTJ. In today's video, I'm gonna pretty much just break down this trade that I had placed over the previous week, and where the market is at now, right? So I'll show where I entered within the trade and everything in between, where I was making my decision as to why I'm placing this trade. Here we go. Boom. So pretty much, this is where the market had closed last week, Friday. And sorry, here, this is where it closed, right? So this is a little like unorganized to the regular eye. Sorry, let me get back over here. It's a little bit neater. So yeah, cool. So as we can see here in the note, I said the shooting star was confirmed on the 1 hour chart. We had bearish momentum coming in very heavy. Be on the lookout for the next hour to 2 hour candles because a good sell could come out of this position, right? So this note was from 7/22, 12/13. So on the 22nd, this was a Saturday. Yep. Boy, we putting in work for real. This was on Saturday at around 12. So I was just here, right? Let me take it back to here. Okay. So this is after the market is open, but this is where price was at when the market closed on Friday, right? So yeah, so just looking at this RSI indicator, I had already recognized that price was being overbought, right? Once I recognized that we have a clear crossover coming along, this is when I knew that the entries could be made. I also had alerts set around this time. So on my previous chart, you could see, oh, well, let me take it back here. Right, so this is the 1 hour. So as price had closed here on Friday, I knew that this zone here was in an area of confusion, first and foremost, right? If you could just look at how price moves like previously within the past pattern, I knew this was a zone that decisions had to be made, right? Because once we get out of these breakouts and just have price moving as it should be within the trend, you can just honestly tell that like price is moving how it's supposed to. So yeah, just getting back into it. Here on this other chart, I can see that price was just being overbought, right? And I recognize that we are already in the downtrend just based on the lower lows and the lower high, right? Which would be the lower high based on this past high and this lower low based on this previous low, right? And again, we have a lower high, lower low, right? So after price made its lower low, you got to then take into consideration, okay, this is going to be some time for retracement, and which it did, hence my trend line, but you can all get all that in the group chat. So yeah, the price was making its bounces off my trend line. I had to wait for the breakthrough. So then I went to the Forex factory and recognized that we had news coming out, right? We had the European news and some flash manufacturing numbers. So typically, if this number, this is the forecasted number, this is the number that people are looking to either get higher or lower, right? Within these numbers, above 50 typically means that the currency or the country is like expanding, it's doing well, and then below 50 it means contraction. Like there's not a lot of it's not a lot of growth going on right now. So since these numbers were below 50, right, then I just go back to the chart work and understand that okay, we're in a seller's market, right? And then that gives me confirmation. So this number was a bad number for the currency, okay? So since it was a bad number for the currency, just to put it in simplest terms, I recognize now that, okay, the dollar has came into some strength for sure, based on the trend line and based on the structure of the market just selling, right? So Within this candle here, this was the time that the candle like did its thing around 2 a.m. That strength alone had sent the trade into a clear, like, yeah, clearly broke through. So yeah, this was also a note I had made on 721. Must wait for the breakthrough of the zone and then the continuation. Price can either wick past the 200 line and reverse, or do what we want and close below it and either retest, and then we enter based on the news coming out from Monday. Can be clear continuation and a rally of strength for the dollar. So yeah, we had some. Let's see if the numbers came out. Ooh, yeah. The rest of their numbers came out bad for the rest of the day. So dollar had some good news, then some weaker news. So with some stronger news, but then weaker results. So that's kind of why we had this imbalance here in decision, which was around 8 a.m. Right, you can see that at the time at the bottom. Look at the news. News dropped at 8:45. So you can understand why the price moves the way it moves just based on these numbers alone. So now that price has already started to make its continuation, we can either make another entry, which we here try to get it up here like 725 level, which would be 10 pips backwards from where price is at currently. And then trust in my analysis of the quarters theory, which you can also learn from me in the group chat. Yeah, guys. So simply, I just seen that we were down. Once price was ready to break out of this zone, this is what I meant by the breakthrough and the continuation, right? Right. So price like broke through and it didn't necessarily like retest all the way back up here. I think just based on the strength of the news here alone, that's what made it break out so heavily. But price can typically like break out of a zone and then only close so far and then retest, which means that it will come back up to this level here and then down, or retest and then go back up in the opposite direction, which would have been like bad for the trade. So I'm glad it did what I predicted and what analyzed for and waited for. So yeah, I'm gonna get out of this one. Yeah, guys, you can just see like prices heading down clear as day. And like that's the thing about with currencies, like you can make profit on the sell or the buy of a currency, right? Because you're not necessarily buying positions for a stock. What you're doing is you're either selling one currency to get another, or you're buying a currency against another. So just to keep that in mind. And I know this was a great breakdown. Thank you guys for watching this. Leave a comment, like, subscribe, and even turn your notifications on. Yeah. Stay tuned for these next videos. We're gonna have more trade breakdowns. We're gonna do some vlogging. We're gonna probably spice it up a little bit, change things up. We're gonna probably go one-on-ones, try to meet with people in person. Yeah, so it's a lot of things coming out, a lot of things in store and plan. So guys, stay tuned and be ready for the next video next week. I appreciate y'all and live gratefully. Thank you.